In times long past, a wonderful family named Titan had lived there and had ruled over all the world. There were 12 of them, 6 brothers and 6 sisters. Their father was the sky and their mother was the earth. The name of the youngest Titan was Saturn. He was king of Titans, so of course, king of all the earth besides. Men were never so happy as they were during Saturn's reign. Nobody had to do any kind of work in that happy time. There was no such things as sickness or sorrow or old age. They were never became grey or wrinkled or lame, but were always handsome and young. Nobody was poor, for everybody had the same precious things: the sunlight, the pure air, the water of the spring, the grass for a carpet, the blue sky for a roof, the fruits and flowers of the woods. When these happy people had lived long enough, they fell asleep and their bodies were seen no more. What a pity it is that this golden age should have came to an end. It was Jupiter and his brothers who brought about this sad change. It is hard to believe, but men say that Jupiter was the son of the old Titan king Saturn, and that he was hardly a year old when he began to plot how he might wage war against his father. As soon as he was grown up, he persuaded his brothers Neptune and Pluto and his sister Juno to join him. They vowed that they would drive the Titans from the earth. Then followed a long and terrible war. But Jupiter had many mighty helpers. A company of one-eyed monster called Cyclops were kept busy all the time for giving thunder in the fire of burning mountains. 3 other monsters, each with 100 hands, were called in to throw rocks and trees against the stronghold of the Titans. Jupiter himself set fire on woods, and the water in the rivers boiled with the heat. Of course, good and quiet old Saturn and his brothers and sister could not hold out always against such few as these. At the end of 10 years, they had to give up and beg for peace. They were bound in chains of the hardest rock and thrown into a prison in the lower worlds, and the Cyclops and the 100-handed monster were sent there to be their jailers and to keep guide over them forever. Then men began to grow dissatisfied with their lot. Some wanted to be rich and own all the good things in the world. Some wanted to be a king and rule over the others. Some who were strong wanted to make slaves of those who were weak. Some broke down the fruit tree. Some, for merry sport, hunted the tame animals which had always been their friends. Some even killed these poor creatures and ate their flesh for food. At last, instead of everybody being everybody's friend, everybody was everybody's few. So in all the world, instead of peace, there was war. Instead of plenty, there was starving. Instead of innocence, there was crime. Instead of happiness, there was misery. And that was the way in which Jupiter made himself so mighty, and that was the way in which the golden age came to an end.